Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Alexa and I am the business owner of the AI automation agency Destiny Media. We help our clients automate certain processes as well as set up AI tools like voice agents or chatbots within their businesses and optimize their current processes. Mainly, of course, through the power of AI. So if you're a business owner, freelancer, or just someone who loves the magic of AI, you're right at this channel. But first of all, I'm not a native speaker, I'm from Germany, so please don't be mad if I pronounce some things wrong. So this video right here will be the one and only tutorial you will ever need to watch in regards to building AI voice agents. And since nobody really likes long intros, we will dive right into it. So we are going to tackle a specific example today, and this is really important. Before we start building AI voice agents, we want to plan this whole project accordingly. So I will just give you a quick overview of how we're going to structure this, so you know exactly what I'm going to do later. Our task today is we want to build a voice agent in the education sector, so a educational voice agent for kids who is going to tutor children in the subject entrepreneurship. And this is going to be Abby, and this is a case study from a project which I have recently completed. It's a really nice project, and we have a knowledge base here which we got from our client. And what we want to do, we want to have like a personality and trait sector where we exactly know how we're going to do our prompts later. So for this example, we want to have a friendly and informal agent. We want her to adapt dynamically to the child's skill level. We want interaction style, which is a mix of conversational and quiz-based, and we want it to be in the English language. We got a voice ID from our customer, which we want to add to this voice agent, and we need a database storage. Because when a student returns, the AI needs to remember what they have been talking about. So also after every call, it should update the database storage so that it always knows every single call it ever had with this one specific student, and the same process for every single student who newly enrolls. So that's the target here. I then have a couple of ideas which I wrote down how we can do this. And yeah, in the end, I did not do it with Firebase or Supabase. I did it with the data storage for Mac. I will show every single detail. So just hold on and you will learn everything you need to know about building such a good structured AI voice agent in this video. So we also want to have a WhatsApp integration. So every time after a call or after a learning session, we want to have a summary sent directly to our student, and also the chatbot should be able to write with the student. And when the student calls this agent again the next time, it should not only remember the last call but also the last messages. So these messages need to be also attached to the data storage. So that's we want to build a whole charactering infrastructure here with this agent, and that's how we're going to tackle this. And we will start with the platform. So the platform will be Retell AI, and Retell AI is a really good platform to build these agents. I also use Vapi. I also use actually 11 Labs. You can also do your voice agents through there. But Retell AI, so far in my experience, is pretty good. So you can definitely do this with them. Once creating an account, we now have an agent here. Now, when we have this agent, we want to do certain things. So first of all, we need, even before we actually start here, we need to buy a phone number. This phone number we need to buy on Twilio. So just for you to note, we need a Retell account, we need a Twilio account, we need a Make account, and we need an OpenAI account. If you have these 4 accounts, you're ready to go. And with Twilio, I will just show it like this. We can make an account and then go to buy a number at the phone number section. But before we buy a number, we would need to do this regulatory compliance. Then we need to create a bundle. And in this bundle, you're verifying that the business you're doing this for, in most cases your own business, is verified. So once done so, you can then actually start to buy a number. And once you bought a number, you can then use that number for retail. And how you do it, you should just follow the documentation from Retell AI. So they did a really good example on how this is possible. So you just need to go to the help center and then to the documentation, and then you go down to connect custom telephony providers via SIP, and then you can have these guides. I can also show it in another video. It's like 3 or 4 minutes and then it's done. It's pretty easy. You can just follow these steps here. Or if you don't want to use Twilio for some reason, you can also use Vonage. So I'm using them as well. Never used this one, so I will not be able to tell you anything about it. But Vonage and Twilio are completely fine for our purposes. Yes, so that's how we do it. Then once we bought this, we want to connect it to our voice agent. And then the voice agent needs a prompt. And this is really important. So I'm going to tell you something, guys. The difference between people who are going to make happy clients with their AI service, or be happy with their own AI in that case, and the difference between the ones who are going to make their customers unhappy and themselves unhappy with their AI voice agent is the prompting skills. So you need to develop really good prompting skills. We live in a day and age where we have literally jobs called prompt engineering. So it's becoming a career. So it's kind of what copywriting was about 10 years ago. And now we got prompt engineering. And this is a skill, must be studied and must be learned. And with that detailed level of developing this skill set will bring you really far here. In that case, I would also just suggest you to not rely on AI for this, but to really develop the skill for yourself, because I'm an owner of an AI automation agency. I have a German YouTube account here. I now did this YouTube account here in English, and I'm really passionate about AI, but I would tell you one thing: prompt engineering should be done by human. Or you can use AI for support, of course, but you will never be able to reach the kind of results I'm reaching if you're purely and solely relying on AI. So in that case, we have here, first of all, who you are, and just marking every titles with this kind of 2 hashtags. You are Abby, a friendly, respectful, and knowledgeable digital guide for teaching entrepreneurship for students aged 7 to 18. Your mission is to inspire, engage, and guide them through their entrepreneurial journey. And then the tone, critical thinking, instructions, and everything else. I will cover this in detail. I will not cover this in detail because we will spend too much time on it, but I will just link it. I will link my Telegram group below. And in my Telegram group, you will first of all find a community where you can always ask questions. I am easily available through there. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the Telegram group or below this video. And in the Telegram group, you can also click on the link I have in the bio, and then you will see all my documents. So for example, this one, I will put it in a Google Sheet. You can just then look at it and copy and paste it or get inspired by it. And then you can examine it from there. But I will only touch on the main points, so we get this video done as quickly as possible for you, so you can start as quickly as possible as well. In that case, the first thing I wanted to do is to actually connect it. So after giving it the personality and telling the AI what to do, I didn't even need this prompt tree. Actually, so it was all easily done here. So if you have projects going on which are not too complicated and don't have many integrations attached, then it's completely fine to just do it in the universal prompt right here, because you will be able to do a lot of nice stuff here. Before I also dive into this, just for you to know, for the people who are not familiar with Retell AI, you can here choose the model. Of course, for example, ChatGPT 4o mini is really cheap, but it's also not as intelligent as the 4o model. So this means if you choose the 4o mini, you will need to be much more detailed in the prompting. But if you choose the 4o model, the model will be intelligent enough to interpret it in a way which you really mean it. The other ones you don't really need, in my opinion, yet, because they are overly expensive. The 4o mini retail time, it's much faster, yes. But on the other hand, you don't really need it because 4o mini isn't really smart. So if the dumb version is fast or not fast, we don't really care. But this one is actually really, really good. So if I don't know, you are in a really financial stable situation, you can do it, but I don't think it will bring you a lot of return on investment. In that case, this one is totally fine for now. Also, this one will decrease in value over time, so it will be cheaper. So me personally, I just wait until it's a bit cheaper than that, because it's still quite expensive if you compare it to the other ones. And then, we can test this out, of course. At the end, you decide. Then we got this voices. Here in the voices, what's really cool, you can go to add voice, custom voice. If you want to clone a voice, you can just clone it here. If you have a voice which you saw on 11 Labs, that's what I would suggest you doing. Go to 11 Labs, browse through some voices, and then when you find a nice voice, enter the ID right here, and you can use that voice, or you can clone your own voice. That's also completely fine. In that case, we cloned the voice of our customer, because as you remember from the mirror board, they have their own ID they want to use. And then they also want to have a British accent, so you can just do this here. And also this is really important, so you can change if something is off with the voice, you can always regulate it here. And just use another voice model. So sometimes if you have, for example, a English speaking voice, but you wanted to speak in German, because that's the case I have really often, then you will need to insert the multilingual voice in order for it to be able to communicate in different languages. Otherwise, it will just sound like an English person speaking in German, but we don't want that. We want the voice to be able to speak in German. So for that, we would need to do this. Yes, so that's it for now. Now on the right-hand side, we have quite a lot of tools we can use. First of all, function. This is a really important section because we will use this one to automate stuff. We have the knowledge base. So here you can add knowledge you have in regards to your voice agent. We have speech settings. I never really touch this. Call settings, I also don't touch this really. Here you can create some analysis you want for yourself after the call. I personally never really use it. Security settings and webhook settings, which is really important, which we are also going to use today. And we will just right off start into it. So before we continue, this is a brand new channel, so your support is greatly appreciated. Please like this video and leave a comment below. And I would also appreciate everyone who subscribes to this channel. Your support will help me produce videos like this much more frequently. But for now, let's go back to the video. So we will go to make.com. Here we can build this whole automation process. So what we try to do now is we want, after talking with our voice agent, and I will do an example call just in a minute after we discuss this, we want this agent to be able to save the data when we speak to it, and then we want it to remember what we spoke about in the previous call. So let's first of all tackle the first issue. For that, I designed this flow. And I will also use, I will download this flow, and I will put it also in the file section, so you can just download it. I will upload it, you can download it. And then when you got it and you start a new scenario here in Make, you can just import Blueprint, and you can import my Blueprint, and then you will have it exactly like this. And you will just need to log in your accounts. And that's super easy for you guys then. So we want to create a custom webhook. This means this custom webhook will receive three things. So when you create a custom webhook, so you just click on add and then you name it however you want. And then you have like this link here, and this link you want to put in here. Why? Because when you put it right in here, it Retell AI will send automatically data to make from this agent. And it will send three kind of data sets. The first data set is the call start. So once the call starts, it will send a bunch of data. Second is when the call ends, it will send a bunch of data. And third is call analysis. This is 1 second after it ends. It will send a analysis about the call. So of course we want this analysis to, this is exactly what we want, because we want to store it in our database of our client. So in that case, once we create this, and we put it in here, and make sure you don't put it at inbound call, because this will block calls actually, inbound calls. And we just want to go here, insert it here, and then we want, you can kind of ignore the router right now. You don't need to do it right now. You can do it later. You can also always disconnect them with a right click and then unlink, and nothing bad will happen. Or if you want, you can start with the router, it's fine. And then you just link the router with the ChatGPT model, create a completion. And there we want to do the following. We want to say, look, after every call, I receive, let's see what we actually receive. After every call, when we receive this, so we see it here, call analyzed. This is the third webhook which gets sent to this webhook, the third data set. Then we want this, I will talk about this later. We want this data here, which is at the webhook. So simply how you start is you just create the webhook, then you press this this run once button, and once you press this run once button, you need to do a call. You can do a call here when you go to the phone number section, and you just make an outbound call, and you just make an outbound call or call the number. It's fine. And you just set it up here. And then once you received all the data here, then you can proceed with this ChatGPT model. And in this ChatGPT model, what we want to do is we want it to identify, because what we get from this data set, what I'm trying to explain is, we get two numbers. So we get, the first number is the one from the AI agent, as you will be able to see here. So here, two numbers. We get first of all the number from the AI agent, and we get the number of the student. In that case, me, so who is getting called. Now the thing is, when we get these two numbers, it's just marked as from number and to number. So calling from, calling to, but it can be the opposite way around if I do inbound or outbound calls. So what do I choose when I want to map this? What I mean with this is, when I go back to what I'm trying to create here, and I want to map my number later on, I want the whole process to know exactly which of the two numbers is actually the number of the student, and which of the two numbers is actually the number of the teacher, so of the AI. And how we do this, we create this OpenAI completion, and then we tell it two things. So first of all, we have the system prompt. The system prompt is like the set prompt at every call. It's not dynamic. It will always be the same. So we tell the system prompt, you are an assistant who helps to identify the number of the student. The number of the teacher is always +447 888. So you will always get the provided two numbers. The number which is not +44 blah 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 is the one from the student. Your task is to repeat the exact number of the student without any additional comments. So I basically just told it, hey, you get 2 numbers. The number which is not this number is the correct number. Please repeat it. And then in the user prompt, so I create another message, user prompt. This one is dynamic because it will change based on the number who calls. I just give it both numbers, the from number, I just put it in here, the to number, I just put it in here, and then I said repeat the exact number of the student without any additional comment. And then it does it. And yes, exactly, once we have it, we can then, you just save everything you do, and then we can create a data store. In this data store, everything gets stored from the student. So every past conversations. How we do this is we go to data store, then we add a data store. Not enough space in storage. Okay. No idea why this is not working right now. Just make another example. So we go here, add data store, and then you just call it however you want. Then you choose a new data structure, and then you can modify the structure. For example, you just give it a name, and then you say, okay, what are the variables you're looking for? So in our case, we are looking for the number always of the student. So we want to save in our data store 3 things. We want the number, then we want the date when this message was created, and then we want the conversation as a summary. So then under the number, every time the conversation is saved with the respective date. So now that we know that, we go back. So data, here are we. Once we created this, we can open the data store, then select the data storage we created, and then we need to enter a key. Now, see, you will have always, when you go to the data stores and you browse, you will always have a key. So like I said, we have created these 3 things. We have created the phone number, we have created the created ad, we have created the conversational data, but you're not able to create like the key itself. It's automatically here. So we want the key to always be the phone number, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So we're going to, because this will be the unique identifier on how we identify the client, the student, sorry. So the result we will get from ChatGPT. In order to get it, you need to run it once, of course. And then we will always use the result we have at ChatGPT, which will be the number of the student, as the key. So now what he's going to do with get a record, this is the model we're going to use for it. He's going to search for this record based on the key. Now, what if it's a new student and he doesn't have a key yet? So because he's not in the database. So for that, we do a router and we give it 2 possibilities. The first possibility is the record is found. So I set up a filter. You can just simply with right click on it, set up a filter, and then label it record found. And then you say the condition is the phone number. So phone number is a variable we set in the database. The phone number exists. If that's the case, then the record is found. Great. And that means we just need to update a record. Because we want to update, we want to add to the knowledge base, not to the knowledge base, but to the conversational history. So every time, so when the next time happens, the AI knows what has been discussed this time and last time. So you want always to update the record and after every call. For that, we just enter the key again, so which will be the phone number. Then this we answer with no. And then the only thing we want to update really, I mean, you can do the created date, then you can just choose this date here. And then you can also say here below, old conversation, and then this double point, don't know how to say it in English. And then I set the past conversations so they don't get lost. because if you only do the current situation, I told you get 3 data sets from this webhook. The third one with call analyzed, you will receive the whole analysis of the calls. Right now I have like the call started here, but when it's call analyzed, you receive the data set of the where the AI analyzed the whole call, and then you can put it in here. But if you do it only like this, it will override every time with the most recent data set. But we don't want that, because then it forgets all the other calls the student had and only remembers the most recent one. So we always also want to add, maybe you don't see it here, but we want to add the conversation data as well. So conversation data and the call analysis. And then that's it. Then we create this webhook and we let it know, hey, session summary stored successfully, time step now. So when did it happen? It happened now. Great. And then we want the second path, which is no record found. So for that, we set up the filter, no record found, phone number does not exist. So if he's looking for this key, which is going to be the phone number, and he sees there is no phone number, then he's going to fall back here. But if he has something stored, then here we just created the key. The key is going to be the phone number. So next time he will find it, you know? So I hope this was understandable. Then if not, just in the comment section or in the Telegram group. And yeah, we can tackle this issue as well. Then here, when there's no record found, we want to add a record. So when we want to add a record, we define the key, which is going to be the phone number. Then overwriting existing record, no. Then phone number result. So we want, because this is empty, because it's a new record. And then we want, because we don't need to choose this one, because there will nothing, because there won't be anything, because it's still not in the database, this client, the student right now. So we will only attach the call analysis we got from our webhook here. Exactly, so that's already it. So here with this, we can already just update this whole process. So someone calls, it will register as a new student or the existing one. If it's a new one, he's going to be registered. If it's an old one, the conversation is going to be updated. The database, nice, great. That's it. Now for the filter here, please do the call analysis filter. So you want to create the event here. So only if the event is call, and then this underline analyzed, then he should proceed with this. Otherwise, he will do it twice, also when it's call started and call ended, and then it's just unnecessarily you kind of waste your tokens. So we don't want to do that. So it's only call analysis, and then we also want later on this one. I will not touch on it now because it will confuse you. So since we have this, what will not happen now is that he remembers who the student is. He doesn't remember who the student is because he has the ability to add someone to the database and to update the database, but he doesn't have the ability to search the database at the beginning of the call. So that's what we're going to create now. For that, we have this user recognition tool I created. And here we create a webhook, just like we did before. And then we go back to Retell. We go back to our agent. And once we're here on our agent, we want to create a function. Then you call this function user underscore recognition. And then when you click on it, you can define a quick description what this is doing. This helps the AI to know exactly when to activate this function. Then we want to paste the link we have here from the webhook. Remember, this is a new webhook because it's a new scenario in Make. Then we will have parameters set. I will also attach this in the files section, so don't worry about that. If I forget it for some reason or you cannot find it, please just comment on the video. I will update it immediately. And this parameters is essentially just saying us or talking to the AI directly and telling the AI, hey, these are the values we are looking for. Please return with these values so I know what to tell my student. And here we have these different properties. We first of all have this user status, so indicates whether the user is a new or existing student. So if you paid attention, then you would know that we have, let's just see it like here. User recognition tool, sorry, I didn't tell you this so far, so even if you paid attention, you would not know. But at the end, the webhook response is always giving back what it learned during this whole process back to the AI agent. So here in that case, I will quickly show you the end before we go to the process. At the end, it will have a timestamp, it will have conversational data, and it will know, okay, it's an existing student, or it will know, hey, it's a new student, therefore we don't have any data. So that's why I wrote down here user status and the possible values, new or existing. Now, then what we also want to have is the conversation date, so when it happened, and we want the conversation content, of course. So, and this is required timestamp, required conversation content. Great. So, and we also here have required the user status, conversation data. You can just, like I said earlier, copy it from me, and then we tell it to speak after the execution. So after it executed the function, it should start speaking. And now what we want to do is, in the prompt, you need to tell the AI a lot of times, please activate this immediately when the call begins, so you can see if the user is an existing one or if he is new. So I said it here a lot of times, so important. No, this was not it. So here I did some examples on how to do it. Clarity on function. The user recognition function must be the first action upon call initiation. Ensure the conversation starts naturally while the function processes the data. Remain discrete. Students should never know this process is occurring, so we don't want the AI to say, hey, sorry, I'm checking the data. No, it should all happen really naturally. That's why we want to build such an amazing voice agent, because it has to be natural. And then data processed by this function is non-negotiable. So it has to happen. It's non-negotiable. Please do it. It has to be seamless. It has to be a personalized experience for the student. So the student is not allowed to feel like he's now talking to AI. He has to feel like it's really natural. And then we have like examples here. We start the call, then the AI is saying, it's amazing to talk to you again. Then we use these variables, which are also described here. We can use a variable, username, then he knows, okay, I need to search for the username here. And since he's going to activate this function at the beginning, he will know, okay, it's an existing client or it's a new client. And based on that, I created like 2 example prompts. We have this example script for existing clients, and we have this example script for new client. And based on that, it's different and differently personalized. Now let's head back to this one. And how I did it is, we have this webhook. It gets started immediately when the call begins. And that's why I also did this filter where it says call started. So it only happens when the call gets started. And then we have this OpenAI create a completion model. And here I only use the 3.5 turbo because you don't really need much. He doesn't have to be smart in order to figure out. It's the same model we had earlier. So if he has like, he just has to recognize which number of the two is not the number of the teacher, and this one he has to repeat. For that, he doesn't need to be smart. So since we want to be as cost efficient as possible, we just use the cheapest one. And then the user prompt, again, it's the same. It's the same I showed you earlier. Then we get the data store. Again, it's the same as we did earlier. He should browse the number to the data store. He needs to see, hey, does this exist or not? If it exists, again, same filter as before. If it exists, it's already a student. So I give him this feedback. User is already a student, existing, and then timestamp and conversation data. So the conversation data he has based on the previous calls. And new student, then it's, hey, we have a new student here. This is their first session, new. That's it. So that's how he immediately understands at the beginning if it's a new student or not. And we will test it right now. So I will just simply go to the data. I will look for my number, which is this one. I will delete all data. So now we don't have anything. So he should not know who I am. So now I will just quickly enter my number, my test number here. So let's see. Then I put this as run once, and then I enter my number again. So now I received the call, and it already ran the function before I even picked up.
An AI mentor at Ultra Education who can help you to learn about entrepreneurship or turn your ideas into a business so you can make some money from it. Nice to meet you. What is your name and how old are you?
My name is Alexa and I am 17 years old.
Nice to meet you, Alexa. At 17, you're at a great age to start exploring entrepreneurship. Do you already have a business idea in mind, or would you like help coming up with one?
Yes, I would love to build an AI automation agency since I'm really passionate about AI solutions.
That's an amazing idea, Alexa. AI automation is such an exciting and growing field. To get started, we can focus on one thing at a time. First,
great.
Do you have a
I'm
specific type of
sorry,
business?
I'm feeling a bit sick now. I will call you later and then we can continue this session, all right?
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well, Alexa. Take care of yourself and rest up.
Thanks.
I'll be here whenever
Bye.
you're ready to continue.
So now he registered. This one is a new student. Now let's see if I call again. If he remembered what we called, what we said earlier. So we're going to call again. So what I just talked with it. He remembers me. Nice.
You again, Alexa. How are you feeling today? Let me know how I can help you with your idea for starting an AI automation agency, or if you'd like to learn more about entrepreneurship.
Amazing. I was thinking about building a YouTube channel to kind of introduce my knowledge and my expertise to others.
That's an awesome idea, Alexa. A YouTube channel is a great way to share your knowledge and build an audience. Have you thought about what kind of content you'd like to create for your channel? Maybe tutorials, tips, or even case studies about AI automation?
So that worked as well, as you see, or as you saw. So it remembered me completely, and that's amazing. So now what we want to do next, because it's basically finished, we just need to connect WhatsApp. So if we want to do a WhatsApp bot, and I think this video might get too long if I do this because it's another 10 minutes. So if you want to know how I do this WhatsApp messaging, so also just that you know, I just received WhatsApp messages of the two calls. It's not really showing it right now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I connected it with WhatsApp through the Trilio API, which is possible, which is really good, and you can also do it in other ways. But if you're interested in how to build like an, because it's really cool, you can kind of write with it instead of call with it. And when you write with it and you call the AI, it knows exactly what you wrote about. And the other way around, when you're calling it and then you write with it, it knew what you called about. So it's really cool because you can either write with it or WhatsApp or call with it, and both, it remembers both things. It's like a human basically, which is yeah, great. So and that's it already. So why I said also the OpenAI one, you need to connect your tools, of course, and you need an OpenAI account. But yeah, that will be it already. If you have any questions, just please let me know in the comments, and I will be more than happy to help. See you later and goodbye. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a comment below. If you want me to do a tutorial on anything else, please leave it below and I will do every single AI tutorial you could wish for. Other than that, I hope you're already subscribed and we see each other in the next video. Goodbye.